So as Die with Nature was in the middle of their set, I see this guy kind of, in the front of the crowd doing regular stuff, kind of bopping around, I guess trying to start a push pit, but I don't think enough of us were wanting to do that to get a good push pit going. But he kind of stuck out to me because, everyone else is wearing like jeans or, dark shirts or band shirts from various bands or just generally look like kind of, people you would see at a metal show. And this guy is wearing khaki pants and like a belt and like this black and yellow polo shirt, which if I say that, some of you are going to know what I mean, but I didn't at first. I thought, okay, did this guy, just get off work at the law firm or whatever? Like he's dressed really, I don't know, officey for a show like this. But something in my mind was like, this polo, I feel like I've seen this before. I feel like I feel this is familiar and not in a good way. And once their set was over, I went on my phone and I looked up. My literal search query was those shirts that the Proud Boys wear, and lo and behold, that guy was wearing one of those shirts. It's a Fred Perry shirt. It's the Fred Perry shirt. Like there's only, one type of shirt that these people wear, but if you aren't really acquainted with this kind of thing, well, I mean, I don't really know if I have to explain who the Proud Boys are. They're like a white nationalist group. They were, at the Capitol on January 6th. A lot of them are going to the big house for their involvement in it, but there's still quite a few of them scattered around the United States. I'll describe the shirt for you because it's really unassuming. And it's kind of, you don't know what you're looking at until you know what you're looking at, essentially. So, I mean, it's literally just a basic black polo shirt. And on the cuffs of the sleeves, the short sleeves, there is a yellow, like embroidered, I don't know what you call this, band around the sleeve and around the collar. And then there's like a logo where it's like two, I guess these are like wings. Or no, these are laurels. What am I talking about? Two like laurel leaves crossed in the front as the emblem, and it's I don't know. This is a British band, right? I never really heard of Fred Perry until I looked this up last night. One thing that you should know about these shirts is that the brand Fred Perry stopped selling them in 2020 because of their association with the alt-right and with the Proud Boys. And once I realized that, I was like, am I in danger now? Like, am I, is this like what's going on? Because I feel like in this case, I don't think I was overreacting. I don't think I was misunderstanding anything because again, this isn't like this isn't like a Ralph Lauren polo shirt or anything like that, like a regular polo that you would see people wearing. It's not, super distinct in that it like sticks out, but if you know what you're looking at, you know what it is. He's wearing the Proud Boy shirt, and I'm like, all of a sudden I start to feel legitimately unsafe because, something that I am kind of always aware of when I go to these kinds of shows, but I try not to think about it too hard because again, these kinds of environments are supposed to be for everybody, and I try not to think about it too hard, but frequently I can tell that I am either the only one or one of like two black people in the entire crowd. And again, it's not like a big crowd or anything like that where I can like kind of blend in. I stick out. I know I stick out. And I have said this before, I'll say it again, I'll continue to say it. Usually when I'm at these kinds of events, when I'm at like metal shows and stuff, I've said this before, it always feels like, even though it is a room full of strangers, it feels like I am in a room full of friends. It always feels like a safe environment where we're all there to just rock out to some music that we love and to share this experience with one another. And it's always been a great thing for me. Even when I've gone to these local shows, people have been nice to me and they, have never really made me feel weird, or anything like that. And this guy wearing the shirt, he didn't really, he didn't like approach me or anything or like give me the eyeballs or anything like that. But still, the fact that he was there wearing a pretty obvious, white nationalist symbol, basically it was like, well, I'm all of a sudden now again aware that I'm the only black person in the room. And it's like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Because a lot of people, myself included, like to go to these kinds of events, like see live music and especially see metal or punk music or anything like that as like a form of escapism. It's been a long week for me. All I wanted was to just, do what I didn't do last week, which was just relax, decompress with some great music from some great local bands, some great regional talent, and just kind of soak all of that in, have my spirit invigorated by that. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of ruined seeing this guy in a freaking Proud Boy shirt, I hate that happened. I hate that I felt like that. I hate that I had to be reminded again that somewhere there are spaces where I am not welcome. And that's not a great feeling. It's not a great feeling to have at all, especially when, I have a lot of complicated feelings about this because, again, like I said in my last YouTube video that I have on my channel, I've been searching for community like this for essentially my entire life. Okay, always feeling like I am on the outside of something, and now I can finally be on the inside of something and be welcomed because now we're all in this community together. And to kind of have that honestly taken away by some stupid guy who, I don't even want to give him the benefit of the doubt because that shirt is so specifically associated with the Proud Boys. They stopped selling it 3 years ago. I feel like if you own one of these shirts, you own it for a specific reason. So I can't even say like, oh, maybe he didn't know. Maybe it was just a shirt that he had. No, I think that guy was legitimately a Proud Boy. I think he might have been an actual white nationalist. I have no reason to think otherwise because why else would you wear that freaking shirt out in public other than to let people know like, hey, this is what I stand for, And it's like, it's frustrating because why can't I just go places and feel safe? Why is that not a luxury that is afforded to me? Why am I not allowed to have a place just anywhere that is just like safe, Because again, people listen to music and go to these shows to not be reminded of the real world and all of society's problems. And yet here I am faced with a person who, is a white nationalist and probably would like to see me dead. I don't know, It's just frustrating that I couldn't even fully enjoy last night once I realized what he was wearing and what it meant. It was, and honestly, I could start to feel myself kind of panic while I was there because I'm like, okay, I'm here by myself, right? Because I always go to these things by myself because, the one time that I tried to bring someone to a show with me, it ended a friendship. Well, I mean, that's not 100% the reason, but it was certainly the catalyst. And now I don't really have anyone to bring with me to these kinds of places. And I still want to go, so I'm not going to limit myself by not going because I don't have anyone to go with. So I'm still going to go, but I am by myself. I don't want to say I'm completely defenseless. I don't know. I've never fought outside of high school, which was typically other girls. Realistically, could I defend myself against one of these guys? I don't know. If it came to that, could I do that? I don't know. And, thinking that, okay, once the show is over, I'm going to have to go outside and it's dark and the parking lot is not super lit all that well. And I have to try to walk to my car and, look around me like the friggin' feds are after me or something just to make sure I'm not being followed by this guy. And it's that's not, why can't I just go out and enjoy things in peace, why do I have to have my happiness stolen away from me by a white nationalist, And I'm wondering too, did other people know the shirt that he was wearing and what it signified? I don't think anybody really said anything. He might have been there with someone, I don't know. I kind of wasn't trying to stare at him for too long. Otherwise, some people take staring as a sign of aggression, and I didn't really want to draw too much attention to myself to make myself known to this guy to, seem like an easy target or something like that. And it's and what's really funny is that the first time that I went to this particular local venue to see local music for the first time, I was legitimately a little bit scared because I thought okay, I know the history of punk music and metal music and what do you call them? Hard edge type of people. And it's like those spaces have at different points in history been co-opted by, neo-Nazis and people like that. And I was kind of afraid, like, okay, am I going to accidentally like come to like a group of skinheads or something like that? And thankfully that ended up not being the case. In fact, it ended up being the opposite of the case. I felt very welcome while I was there the first time. And, I thought that was always going to be the case. This is the underground music scene of Jackson. This is a welcoming place for everybody. But, sometimes people have to ruin those things. And I don't like that. And I really haven't been able to shake this weird feeling since last night that, how much in danger was I potentially last night. Of course, I told both my parents where I was going last night because they like to know those things to make sure that I'm safe and everything like that. And obviously I got home last night fine, but it's like I haven't even told either of my parents what happened, because then they're just gonna get even more worried when I go out to these places by myself. Is Aaron, cavorting with skinheads unknowingly, So I don't even know what to say, what to think or say about it, other than I don't like that. I don't like that happened, and I don't like that I was made to feel unsafe, and I don't like that I panicked thinking that I was going to potentially get attacked in the parking lot just for trying to take a load off and listen to some live music last night. I didn't like that, and I don't like that I have to keep worrying about these things, I know where I am. I know where I live. I live in Mississippi. It's not everywhere in Mississippi is going to be very kind to... I can't believe I'm getting emotional about this either, but not everyone in Mississippi is going to be kind to people like me. I know this. I know history and things like that, and I just thought we were past all of this. But aside from seeing a freaking Proud Boy last night, I did have a good time, but it was still kind of sullied by that. So why do I have to have these kinds of spaces be invaded, And I feel like some Black people are gonna watch this and gonna be like, serves you right. You're in places you're not wanted. So what else do you think was going to happen? And it's like, just because, a space, let's say, the metal music scene is primarily inhabited by white people, stereotypically, doesn't mean that it has to be unsafe for me, I saw Animals as Leaders on Juneteenth, for Christ's sake. A Black-fronted band on Juneteenth, as the ancestors would have wanted. It's just frustrating. I don't know what else to say other than it's just frustrating. And I wish I didn't have to deal with it. But I live in Jackson, Mississippi, which, 80-something% Black, but still a lot of racists. It has become apparent. So I just hope, this is a one-off occurrence. This isn't something that I'm going to have to keep, encountering in these live music spaces that I've wanted to be in and that I've yearned for so long. I hope this is a one-off thing, and I hope I never see that guy at another venue again. And I hope if he does show up, wearing his stupid little ugly polo. His stupid little ugly polo that apparently costs $95, that people let him know that he's not wanted. Because in the past, in punk spaces and in metal spaces, the neo-Nazis have... Oh God, my recorder. Neo-Nazis have been pushed out and made to feel unwelcome because they aren't welcome in these spaces. The Dead Kennedys had a whole song about it. It's like, what do you do when you're confronted with something like this? Because I don't want to be scared into never coming out again, because that doesn't make sense. I can't do that. That's not going to help anybody out. And it's certainly not going to help me out. And I hope, that if those certain types of hotep type Black people that do see this mind their business, because, I don't care. I don't care that this, the punk music scene and the metal music scene is primarily filled with white people. I don't care. I want to listen to the music that I want to listen to. The demographic makeup is not going to stop me. So why should I let it, And I know this is really kind of disjointed and probably not making a whole lot of sense, but it's just upsetting, and I don't really know what to say or to do about it, or to I don't know. Once upon a time, I might have been maybe a little bit more wary of talking about these kinds of things because of the reactions of certain people in my life might have to it. They're not my life anymore, so I can say whatever I want. And what I want to say is that I don't think those types of people, I don't think white nationalists should be able to be comfortable wearing, their little dog whistle polos out in public without, some pushback. Like, that guy shouldn't have had a good time last night. Why should he have a good time at the expense of making other people feel uncomfortable, Because these people are a tangible physical threat to others. I don't really have anything else to say other than I hate white nationalists. They're bad. It's not a controversial statement to say that white nationalism is bad and that being a neo-Nazi is bad, because it is. And it's not even an extreme statement to make either. They're bad. I don't want them around me, and they shouldn't be comfortable coming into our spaces. And I just hope, I'm not confronted with that again, because I won't say it ruined my night, because I still had a pretty good time. I took the videos, I bought the t-shirt, I had a decent time, but it was still kind of sullied by that. And that I don't think I can just like brush that off. I don't want to just brush it off. I want to talk about it.